Good morning. Today we're going to study ratio and unit rate. A ratio is a comparison of two numbers by division, and rate is a ratio of two measurements with unlike units. Let's look at this first ratio. When we do a ratio, we're thinking of the cost per one item. So if I go to the grocery store and in the produce section I see a sign that says Golden Delicious apples 5 for $1, but I only want to buy one, I need to think about how much one's going to cost me. So $1 for each apple, and there's 5 apples. I could kind of guess and check. Maybe I thought it was 25 cents. So 25 cents, 25 cents, 25 cents, 25 cents, 25. Oh, that gets me to $1.25. That's too high. Or you could think of this way. A ratio is simply a division problem. So $1 for 5 apples. So I'm going to do $1 divided by 5. And 5 goes into $1 how many times? It goes in there 20 cents. 5 goes into 120 times, and because it's $1, 100 pennies, it's 20 pennies. So 20 cents for one apple. Let's look at this one. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 socks that I paid $6.50 for. Or we can look at it a different way. I have 5 pairs of socks that I purchased. Let's look at it that way, because we're not going to buy single socks. That's just silly. Although some people might want to do that because, sometimes you put them in the wash machine and only one comes out. So we have $6.50 for 5 pairs of socks. Let's do the long division here. All right, I'm going to do it up here. 5 into $6.50. Remember to line up your decimals, so my decimal goes there. 5 goes into 6 one time for the answer of 5. 6 minus 5 is 1. Bring down my 5. 5 goes into 15 3 times. And now we're at 0, but we still have this 0 here, so we need to write it up there. $1.30. So each pair of socks cost me $1.30. Let's look at another one. I went to the store and I bought 2 shirts for $18.50. It's a pretty good bargain. So think about it. Take a moment. How would I set up this division problem? If you said $18.50 for 2 shirts, you are correct. So I'm going to write out my division. 2 into $18.50. Line up my decimal. 2 does not go into the number 1, so I need to move over. 2 goes into the number 18 9 times. I still have numbers up here, so I have to bring them down. 5. 2 goes into 5 2 times, and 2 times 2 is 4. And when I subtract, I get 1, and bring down the 0, I get 10. Sorry, my problem's running into the other part here. 2 goes into 10 5 times. So $9.25. Okay, again, the division problem here, if I had 12 hot wings and I paid $4.80, it would be 40 cents per wing. Okay, now we're going to look at ratios, setting up proportions. And so we have Jane drove from Philadelphia towards Pittsburgh on the Pennsylvania Turnpike at an average speed of 50 miles for 3 hours and 25 minutes. 3 hours and 25 minutes. How far did she drive in 3 hours and 25 minutes? Okay? So we need to think about the two things that we're looking at. We're looking at miles and we're looking at hours or time. And it's very important to always set up your proportion. What are the two factors that you're looking at? So in situation or scenario 1, we have Jane drove 50 miles per 1 hour. Per hour. They didn't say 2 hours. They didn't say 3 hours. They said per hour. So we know that to be 1. And in scenario 2, she's driven, we don't know how many miles, and whenever we don't know anything, we use a variable, so I'm going to use X. But we do know she drove for 3.25 hours. Now we have a proportion, and now we can cross multiply and solve. Now, if you're a little shaky with your multiplication, I'm going to show you how to do this one. And then we'll pull up the calculator just to double check our math. So $3.25 times 50. Okay, 0 times anything is 0. Now we're over here. 5 times 5 is 25. Write the 5. Carry the 2. 5 times 2 is 10 plus 2 is 12. Carry the 1. 5 times 3 is 15 plus 1 is 16. Okay, now we need to count the spaces behind the decimal. 1, 2. 1, 2. So she went 162.5 miles. Okay? And the reason why I just stopped at the multiplication is right here I have 1x. If this had been 2x, then after I got the 162.5, I would have had to divide by 2. And we're going to look at an example like that in a second. Okay, so just in case, to verify that I did my math right, I'm going to do 3.25 times 50, and I get 162.5. Okay, I said we'd look at another one. And so, let's say we have carrots at one store, and I can get 6 carrots for $12, and I want to know how many carrots I can get for I can get 6 carrots for $12. That's pretty expensive. So we have carrots and money. Okay, so 6 carrots for $12. How much will 18 carrots cost me? So I'm looking for the cost. So I cross multiply. And the trick I remember is cross multiply the numbers. See, this one has a variable. So 12 times 18. So 18 times 12 is 6. Carry the 1. That gives me a 3. Placeholder because I'm not multiplying by 1. I'm multiplying by 10. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 1 is 1. Add it up. 6, 1, carry the 1, 216. Now, 6x equals 216. But the way I remember it is I cross multiply the numbers that are across from each other and I divide by the leftover number. So now I'm going to do 6 into 216. And 6 doesn't go into 2, but 6 goes into 21 3 times. That gives me 18. Subtract. I get a 3. Bring down my 6. 6 goes into 36 6 times. So 18 carrots would cost me $36. Okay? You are going to go ahead and try to practice these problems. Remember, the key piece is that you write your labels. So I had money over carrots, money over carrots. Because if you write the label and you stay consistent, you won't set up your proportion wrong. And then you cross multiply the numbers that are across from each other and divide by the leftover number. Good luck.